I got my miracle. Welcome. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so really grateful. I have my new friend Cash here. We had a great week at Rhythmia, and this Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live is every week we come with someone who had a great week at Rhythmia. This was such a powerful week this week, and at the end of the week we have a closing group, and people get to share, and that's kind of where I get to see, wow, who do I get to talk to this week? And man, your share was so powerful today.
Nice.
So I invited Cash to come and be part of I Got My Miracle. So welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. So without further ado, let's talk to you, dude. Hey.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Cash?
It's good, man. Just chilling and finishing up this amazing week here at Rhythmia. It's been life changing, man. And the real change is going to come after I leave here. I've let me rephrase that. The real change has happened here, but applying it to real life is going to be the whole point.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we actually have at Rhythmia is an aftercare program, which you're going to get, called Our Life. And there'll be all sorts of help for you to, it's a weekly program with meditation and breath work and teachings, all designed to help you kind of stay on the path. But then there's still applying it to everyday life. Before we get to that, I want to hear about your week at Rhythmia. First of all, where are you from? What do you do? What got you here?
Okay. I'm from Powell, Wyoming, and I wouldn't be here without a new friend that a new relationship I just developed about 2.5 months ago. Mark, he got me here. I've always wanted to do an ayahuasca, an ayahuasca experience. Whether that I didn't expect it to be such a retreat like this, like a whole experience, days, a whole week,
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted something that I could expand my consciousness, expand, personal growth. That's kind of where I'm at. That's what I wanted. So that's what I was seeking for. And my friend Mark, he got recommended this place. It got high rating. And I was like, well, dude, that sounds good. Greg Braden, freaking shout out to Greg Braden. I love that man.
Greg.
Yeah. Do you know him?
I do.
Dude, he's the man. Anyways,
he's such a nice guy.
I've never met him in person.
He's a really nice person.
He changed my life, and he doesn't know it, but he has.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did he change your life?
Dude, so I was introduced by, I got, have you heard of Gaia? It's a streaming.
Of course.
Dude, yeah, I found him on there, and he always just touched my soul. The things that he taught, the way he explains things, the compassion that he's just an amazing guy. He explains things so well. I really connect with him. So anyways, after all that, that's.
So why, you said I've always wanted to have an ayahuasca experience. But how did you hear about ayahuasca?
So ayahuasca has been something that again, to be honest with you, the biggest introduction to this kind of stuff has been Gaia. That's really been, I watched the whole series 2 times now, Psychedelica, and all the other ones.
Wow.
I mean, it's just always touched my heart. That's always kind of just pulled me in. And so, heck yeah.
So you'd seen some stuff on Gaia.
Yep.
Wanted this experience, met Mark, and you guys became
friends.
And how did you meet? What are you both? Because you're in construction.
Yep.
Are you both in construction?
He does. He builds fences. SWI. He builds fences, and I'm just in construction. I do tile. I'm a small business owner. Just own my own little business. Do my own work, tile and roofing.
So great.
And we met through another friend. And we got introduced, and it all went from there, and yeah, long story short, there it is.
And you're both in the same small town.
Yep.
How big is Powell?
9,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And it's right in the corner of right by Yellowstone. So northwest corner of Wyoming. It's a sweet place. It's where I was born and raised. So I am biased. I'm biased.
Wow. I live here in Avellanas, and maybe there's probably less than, maybe there's 10,000 people in Playa Negra, Playa Avellanas, Playa Lagartija, like in this whole like area. Maybe. I doubt it. I've never lived in a town this small before, where
How's it
like
feel?
everybody knows you, and you're like you go somewhere and like you're
Yeah.
running into people you know, right? Because
Mhm.
you.
Is it a good experience? Do you like that?
I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
More personal.
I like. I grew up in Arizona. I grew up in Tucson, which is a small town, but it's not that small, right?
Right.
It's a decent sized city. Um, um, but there's always a lot of nature, and Tucson was small enough where you could be like out of the city in 20 minutes
Oh
and
yeah,
be
yeah.
in the mountains or be in the desert. Um, and I grew up camping and fishing and hunting and hiking, and that was what we did. And so I just what I love about here is the less density,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as dense with humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in LA
Mm-hmm.
for 10 years, which was dense,
Yes.
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyway,
Yes.
I want to know about you. So you're in
Powell, yep.
Powell, Wyoming. Heard about this, came down. What were your expectations? What were you thinking?
My expectations of this was going to be similar to shrooms.
Mhm.
So shrooms, just real fast, shrooms have been a big part of my life last 2.5 years, as far as spiritual awakening. I've treated them not as a recreational thing. I treated them, first time I ever tried them, it was like, wow, this is something special. And so I think that led me to being like, man, what is this? What other experiences? Like, what is this state, this state of consciousness? What this state of surrender, of love, understanding that there's so much more to life than money and trying to keep up, with the Joneses and all this bullshit. And so ayahuasca was something that always, was always at the forefront, like how do you spiritually get developed? And there's so many ways to develop spiritually. There's so many ways. And that's my path of finding, I guess, finding God has been through, that was the first stepping stone. And ayahuasca for sure has been like a humongous leap forward, man.
All right, so tell me about this huge leap forward.
Okay. Well, I think
Like, what were you like? What's the difference for you between a week ago when you arrived and today?
is that a different question than what the miracle that I received? Is that a different question? Because that's kind of in the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of this.
Okay.
It feels similar to me.
Okay. I would say that the guy that showed up a week ago was as always, searching for truth, searching for light. I'm a truth seeker. And the guy that's sitting here with you right now is full of love, not just for everyone, because that's what I've been working on that for the last 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, I have love for myself.
Yeah.
And that's you can't beat that, because when you have love for yourself, you don't need validation from anyone else. You fuck everyone else. And I mean that in the most respectful way. I mean, like
No, I hear
like it, what it comes down to is that when you feel in your heart that you're full and your heart's full, you can then help others. You can then give.
You can actually love others.
Yes. And you were talking about this morning so beautifully, right? And so exactly, you can love that. So that's what that's given me. This whole week has taught me, it's showed me who I've become, where I'm at, where I stand with things, what my heart desires. And most importantly, it's given me that self-love and that confidence.
What was the merger? One of the things that we talk about here at Rhythmia is we call it a soul merger, merging with your soul, coming back to a place of wholeness. So what was your merger? What was your soul merger?
Well, specifically, it happened really on Thursday. The last ceremony, ayahuasca ceremony, happened on Thursday, I think. I know that's when it happened, and it was just tough, dude. So ayahuasca is intense. I mean, it is next level. It is not what I expected. It is so extreme. It is, I mean, it's intense, right? It shows you the things that you didn't know that you had, things that you knew you had, and just here they are. What are you going to do with them? Like your fears. and it forces you in that arena, and you just have to deal with it, and it's really hard. I mean, it is so hard, and in the end, when you face those things, you get the most beautiful feeling, you get the most beautiful bliss,
Mm.
and that's what, that's, and
Yeah, so beautiful.
hard things are for a reason. And another thing I want to mention is that, you know like I was saying earlier, we try to avoid hard things. We try to make life easy for ourselves, and that's not a bad thing. We want, peace. We want life is to be enjoyed. But what is happiness? What is joy? How do we get there? And I think it's perspective. It's a lot of things. One of those things is perspective, and especially this week has taught me that how to handle my fear, how to handle,
Mm.
like your fears aren't a bad thing. Don't title them. Don't put a freaking label on them. Deal with them, marinate in them, and then they don't become your fears no more. In fact, a lot of time they just go away like they're never there.
So kind of when you observe them, they lose their power.
Yes, yes,
When you're running away from them, they
Yep.
keep they become more powerful.
Yes.
Really beautiful insights, man. So you merge. What was that? How can you describe that?
So I definitely had, they call it like an ego death,
Mhm.
right? My personal favorite comes from Greg Braden, and he talks about the dark night of the soul. And I think it's the same thing. If it's not, freaking don't know, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think it's similar thing. I think,
Yeah.
where you kind of dissolve old beliefs, you dissolve everything, and you're reborn again, man. And so I experienced that 2 times, in the same night, because I drank multiple, glasses, and it was a rough night, dude. It was so rough. I mean, it was agony. It was hard. It was really hard, man. Because you're confronted you're confronted not with only bad. You're confronted with beautiful things too. You're told this and that, and you're this and that, but you're also told, well, you are this, and maybe that's not so wonderful. It's not bad. Maybe it's just something you need to improve on. And so that's kind of what happened. And so when that process happened, when I guess I merged with my soul, you know, um, it was no judgment towards myself. It felt like it literally, you know, a lot of people here call it different things. They call it Mother Ayahuasca, higher self, God, whatever you want to call it. I was told that I had a new body, and not just like, oh, you have a new body, and that means that means that, no, it's like literally you have a new body. And the people that have gone here and experienced ayahuasca, especially since that I've been here at this retreat, um, they have a better idea and know exactly, what I mean. You purge, and you throw up the things that you don't like about yourself, those old habits. You throw up all those
Fear, the
fear.
doubt, the
Yes,
worry.
yes, physically. And when you're done with that, you feel like you have a new body.
You know, what we kind of teach here is that um, all illness, all psychological issues, all addiction come from this split that occurred, typically for everyone, usually before the age of 10. And we usually separate from ourselves out of protection. We like project out this image of who we think we need to be in order to get our needs met, because something happened and we weren't loved, or we weren't safe, or we weren't, um, didn't feel connected, or didn't feel like we belonged, or something. And then so it's like, oh, well, if I'm perfect, if I please everybody, if I can do these things, then I won't feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that is dissonance.
It's avoiding it. It's
Right.
avoiding the elephant in the room.
And that causes physical illness. So a lot of physical illness, we know the connection between the mind and the body. And if you're stuck in fear, doubt, lack, worry, limitation, not enoughness, constantly, you're releasing toxic chemicals into your body from your pituitary gland, right? It's like your body's the pharmaceutical, warehouse. And so when you clean all that up, like you said, as you so beautifully said, you purge all that out and then come back to a state of wholeness. like, oh, all that stuff wasn't true. I'm actually okay. Oh my God, I love me. That's the new body. Like the physical body gets healed.
That's what I experienced. It's a sacred thing. It's a beautiful thing. I it it's yeah. It's to say it's cool is an understatement.
Right? You just had such a great week. Is there anything else? Okay, let's talk a little bit about. Is there anything else about your experience? Like, so what are you leaving here with? Like, what's your, like, I'm going back to Wyoming to my 9,000 person town and I'm ready to, like, what are you leaving here with? What are you taking with you? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, you know, that one of my miracles, one of them, not just the miracle. I received a few, but one of them was that self-love. I think that was the most important for me. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that was going to be the first domino of other effects.
Yeah.
You know.
Well said.
And so that self-love, you can't beat that, man. That it's important because then you can actually really focus on other things. And so I'm going to take that home with me and apply that to my life. Other things I'm going to take with me is compassion, love, for more love for nature, more love for humanity.
Right? Like realizing how connected we are to everything.
Yes, we're so connected. I just got done talking with a buddy a few minutes ago, and he was telling me that his wife has been at home, thousands of miles away. She's at home and she's been having a tough week. She's been feeling this and that, and she's been feeling the things that he's been experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And that just shows that we are connected. We are entangled.
Indeed.
And that's another thing is beautifully that you've been talking about is that when we are able to understand that the own power that we have, that we are quantum computers, we send out frequencies with every thought, every time our heart thumps, it's sending out something, or it's sending out our belief system, the state that we are in. What we're doing here at Rythmia, like you've so beautifully explained, day after day, it affects the people in China. It affects people around the world because we are all connected. We are all frequency. We're all energy, and as cliche as that sounds,
right?
It is real.
Totally beautiful. Okay, such great insights. You shared so many beautiful things about your own journey, and like when you told me you were 28, he's 28. I was like, wow, like you're so.
Is that shocking? Is it because I look older than I am, or
no, like a level of maturity within you?
Oh wow,
dude,
that's so nice of you.
Thank you. Really beautifully mature, insightful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was snorting up half of Colombia when I was 28. So it was like a very different life. You've embarked on this spiritual path. I was like, yeah, party. So well done, bro. What about Rythmia, the people that you met here, the resort, the classes, like the facilities, anything that you want to share about that?
Dude, beautiful experience. The shamans here. I cannot imagine experiencing ayahuasca without having shamans there.
Oh yeah, no, you need
I've heard people like they're sneaking in ayahuasca in America, and not no judgment towards that. I mean, who doesn't want to do drugs or whatever? I've been there, done that, but dude, no way. Ayahuasca isn't your recreational drug. I mean, are you kidding me? Anyways, long story short, I love the shamans here. They treat you. They're the real deal. I felt like when I am going through the experience, they can look at you and see and feel what you're going through. They know what you need. And when you're in that state, you need that. You need that, man,
Yeah. Beautiful.
So that's the shamans here are awesome. The facility, you have AC, which is super important for me for sleeping, man. And so the whole experience has been magical.
What's the most helpful thing for you?
The most helpful? The ceremonies.
Beautiful.
that for sure. The breath work was really helpful too, that they teach you breath work here and how to get in that mindful state without ayahuasca. So it's not just something that you take this plant medicine, you go home, go back, life is normal. I don't think that's possible without doing, applying this stuff. I don't think that's possible. But if you apply it, dude, you're not only going to change, you're going to transform into, you're going to transform into, closer to your higher self.
To your authentic self.
To your authentic self. Yes.
Beautiful.
Amen.
Man, so great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you to all the shamans out there. Thank you to all my friends, my new friends that I've made here at Rythmia. Thank you to you, the teachers, man. You guys have been amazing. It's been a sacred experience for me, and I mean that with every bit of my soul.
Thanks, brother. It's been a pleasure having you. And thank you all so much for joining us. A little peek into our conversation. And if you have any questions about Rythmia, you can go to the website or DM me and we'll talk about Rythmia. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings, everyone. All right. Oh, hey, Ben was there. Hey, Ben, how you doing?
Who's Ben?